For the best in eyewear, call Dr. Leeks Optometry.
A noxious weeds coordinator and John Ashworth from Tri-County Weed Control were at the recent Board of County Commissioners meeting to update the board members and everyone present about the noxious weeds around Nevada. A noxious weed is any species of plant which is or is likely to be a public nuisance, detrimental or destructive, and difficult to control, introduced via feeds, seeds, and ornamental plants. These noxious weeds are put into 3 different categories. Category A, limited distribution or not found at all. B, established in certain areas. Or C, widespread throughout the state. Sean Geppert states that owners or occupants of land must have some level of control over these noxious weeds in their area.
It is by state law that every person occupying the land or managing the land or owning the land that has noxious weeds on that land, they have to implement some level of control. Now, we realize that a C-rated weed eradication is not always realistic, and that's why we specify some level of controlling the weeds. And that can come in many of different forms. This is why you can consult with Tri-County Weed Control. You can consult with me. You can consult with M.L. Robinson, who just gave a representative of the Cooperative Extension. They might be able to provide a homeowner with the best course of action, and that does not always include use of a chemical or a herbicide. Russian knapweed, I think a lot of people on the board are very familiar with. It's a perennial weed that is toxic to horses. It's very difficult to control because if you try to rototill it, the roots themselves are propagative. Any sprout or cutting can resprout, and it can also spread from seed development as well. The best way to control this one what they found is to spray it late in the season as it's going into dormancy with a product called Milestone. And what that does is as the sugars and the starches go down to the root system to go into some dormancy, you apply the herbicide to that, it pulls the herbicide down into the roots, and you're going to have a better means of control. Silverleaf nightshade is a perennial that they're seeing down in southern Nye County, and this is a poisonous plant, so that was one of the reasons why we listed it. And it's not widespread, so I believe that you could achieve some eradication with this. So why be concerned here as the state weed collaboration wants to work with the counties. We really don't want to become across as being the enforcer of the weeds on the counties. We want to develop a good communication, such as me working with Tri-County Weed. We can do a lot of survey work and share data back and forth to find out where our infestations are. We are encouraging the counties to use the EdMap system, and that EdMap system, instead of a handheld GPS unit, goes into a larger statewide county or a statewide database that can be reviewed and to determine where we can move our weeds up and down the A, B, and C category list.
Not only does Sean have opportunities here through the Department of Agriculture to help you on private land issues, but through those other organizations as well, we can sometime attract grants that will help. And if you let us know and keep us in the loop, we might be able to help bring some of those costs down for the property owners.